I've heard lots of specific negative comments over my time. So things that stand out: she's only on the team because she's a girl. I'm not a real football player. Oh, a girl can't play football. And on the last play, a guy tackled me, and it was after the play was dead. So he tackles me and he looks at me and he says, "Welcome to football, this isn't figure skating." I first started to play football in ninth grade. And so the responses, I had a lot of responses. On the positive side, there was just all like love and support from my family, my friends, my church, my teachers, my principals. And then the harder pieces, I was the first female that like the other players ever like played football with. So it was really hard for them to figure out like what kind of responses to have. So that first year was really challenging at high school because I got a lot of negativity, but mostly like isolation and just like ignoring me and saying like negative things behind my back. At the end of that year, I had a choice to make. And so I had to choose, will I give up? Is it too hard like to be ignored and like ostracized, or do I keep pushing through? At the end of that year, I realized I love football too much. I've got this fire in my gut for a reason. And so I chose at the end of that experience, I'm gonna keep pushing forward. And so the way that I turned it around with my team is through the weight room. And when we were in the weight room, that's when my teammates saw me as a football player for the first time. So instead of seeing me just as a girl, they saw me as a football player who happens to be a girl. From that moment on, I was just one of them, and then they were like my brothers. So my college recruiting process, I'd say it was probably like 90% comparable to every other one, like everyone else's experience. I wanted to go to a really great academic school where I could have the chance to play ball. So Coach Burke, he played my game film in front of the coaches, like just with all the other players. So he just like would show the film, get feedback, show the film, get feedback, and then he put my film in and he says, "Okay guys, what about this player?" And they're like, "Okay, the trajectory of the kick's a little low, but we'll take it. Like we'll definitely recruit this player." And then he says, "Okay, add her to the list." And so they didn't know until he said it that I was a female. So when I first got to Juniata, it was the opposite experience as it was in high school. So the football team, I really think that that Coach Burke set those guys up for success with interacting with me. So when I got there, all the players were respectful. I didn't hear any negativity from them. The coaches were really like warm and welcoming. So I thought that he set the stage. It had to come from the top that, hey, female's coming and it's okay. And it's normal, and she's going to be part of our team, part of our program. So I do have two athletes playing college. Abby Swager, she goes to Lev-Val College. And so she's gonna join, she didn't play this year, but she's joining their football team in January. I'm so excited about that because I was the 8th female of all time to play college football. And so maybe she'd be like the 20th. And then George Souter, so he graduated here. I've worked with him for 5 years, but yeah, he plays at Robert Morris, so he's playing D1, and he's a scholarship punter. He starts for them. He had a dominant career in high school. Like he was one of the best punters and probably place kickers in all of PA. And now he's having a great career at college. So I think he's got a really bright future.
She's been coaching me for 5 years now, and it's been great. She's very energetic all the time. And I knew nothing at all coming into it. I had no idea how to kick. I just played soccer, and she was able to, take that and make me into the kicker I am.
My experience with the Baltimore Ravens, completely surreal. It's happened for the past 2 years, and it's still sinking in. I went expecting to get skills to bring back for my guys in Waynesboro, and so I got that, but then I also got too that I think it would be possible being like a kicking coach for the NFL. My advice for young female athletes would be Whatever you're passionate in, follow that instinct. And no matter where it leads you. So even if people say negative things, ignore it. Whether we're in sports or like a male-dominated career or subject area, a lot of times it's harder for us, which doesn't make it okay, but it just makes us work harder. And so I think because we have to work harder and prove ourselves even more, we become really good at what we're doing. And so own it. And like even when it gets hard, it's going to be worth it. And every time one of us steps up and does something unusual or different, because that's what we're meant to do, it makes it a little easier for the next person too. So do what you love, work hard, and great things will happen.